Alright y'all, here's today's project. This truck's been leaking fuel for the past couple years. I put some band-aids on it. Tired of putting band-aids on it. So I decided to put fuel lines on it. After my research, I found out that it's pretty hard to figure out what you actually need. So I'm going to go through here and show you guys what I got, and I'll get back with you after I do it to see it actually works. I got the Dorman fuel line kit, all stainless steel. There's directions on Dorman on how to install that and how to take your old fuel line off. Out here where I live at, the top of the fuel sending unit rust up here. So I got a new GM fuel sending unit, so that way my fuel gauge works the way it's supposed to. I did not get a GM fuel cooler. I got a Dorman fuel cooler. That might be a mistake off my research, because they talk about these barbs being too sharp right here. I don't know. We'll figure that out after I get to that. Now, two lines that you will need, because you'll never get them off those rusted ass fuel tanks, and Dorman, as far as I know, doesn't make it, but they possibly could. These two lines here came from GM. Part number 1516732 and 1507713. This is your supply line, the bigger one, and this is your return line, the smaller one. They go from the lines at the bottom of the cooler to the tank. I'll talk to you later after I get this done, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of cussing in it. Alright everybody, I'm getting along okay on this. I got my fuel tank dropped. I got my new fuel sending unit in, my new lines on. You can see the hack job that I did on this return line. I just spliced into it right there. It wasn't leaking from there, it was leaking from here. And as the old boy from farming, fixing, and fabrication would just say, it is shot. And it probably was leaking from one of these lines right here too. They're all freaking junk. A word of advice: these half-inch fuel lines aren't fun. I can't get my one off of my engine yet to put my new fuel lines on, because you've got to push this part in and get the red part in, and that is not very fun. I'll get back with you after I get this tank put back in and start putting the lines on. Alright, I got it back running now finally. I'm going to show you guys a couple things on here. Dorman does not give you very good instructions on putting this fuel line kit on here. The biggest pain in the butt is right down here. I think if you pull the steering, the half intermediate shaft off here, and the oil filter, you'd be able to get this whole assembly off as a kit, as an assembly on that front part. I cut mine off because I wasn't taking that steering shaft and the oil filter off. Number one, because I didn't have an oil filter. Where is that piece at? I'll find that piece and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think I got mad and threw them up here in the bed of the truck somewhere. I don't know where that... I had that stuck somewhere. Anyways, here, I'll just show you with it on the truck. Let me grab my flashlight. One word of advice. If you want to do that fuel tank, have somebody help you. Because even with that tank empty, it was a pain in the butt for me to get it back up in there and lined up by myself. Alright. You see, there's a black bracket back here with a nut. I took that off. And also, down here on the transmission. Oh, come on, you son of a butt. You follow them lines up there to that bell housing there. You see that nut with the black bracket? I had to take that clamp off right there too to get this piece on. Now, another part of the directions that they don't show very well. This line right here, the front section is this one right here. You gotta pull those little black pieces off. The clamps can stay on, but you pull those black plastic pieces off. They got little nipples on the back of them. You can leave the brackets in place. Then there's a section here that you have to use. Put on. And one other thing I will tell you, to get this 1/2-inch fuel line off here, is to undo your bracket bolts so you can pull that line back. Come on. You son of a butt. Damn freaking damn touchscreen keeps on going on. Pull this 1/2-inch line here, pull the brackets loose so you can pull this line back to get it back on. Now you probably noticed how my line's got a 90 in it. That's the only way I could get that thing lined back up to where it would work in my application. They say these things work from 04 to 10. Let me crawl under the truck here, grab this junk creeper that I got. And get under here. All them lines are all replaced. The fuel cooler replaced. Now I did have a leak at the fuel cooler. I didn't have the line snapped in all the way. But everything else looks good. I would definitely recommend using GM fuel lines on that back part. And I'd probably also recommend just going for the extra bucks and getting a GM fuel cooler. I don't like the way that them lines snapped on there. They were a pain in the butt. I can't really think of any other tips other than having somebody else help you, especially if you're getting old like me, because it don't work too well. Thanks. Bye.